HDMI. Because I mean, it's like right here on the end of the 100 foot, so it's like,
So it's
whack.
95 foot.
Yeah, so if I like whack 1 foot off and replace the terminal, I've got 99 foot.
Yeah.
I just don't know how bad it would be to tie in a new.
No,
There's Art.
there's about
How you doing?
16 wires.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
We be jamming, we be
Let go
jamming.
again.
Back in the Cincinnati's.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I'm in Milford, but yes, Cincinnati area.
it's
I was
Cincinnati.
just
You're
saying,
inside at 275. That's Cincinnati.
well, Milford is a little bit outside, some of it,
Close enough. It's close enough.
half in, half out. Put one street in, put one street out.
At least you can say you're in Cincinnati when you're in Milford. You're not in Columbus or Cleveland. You're in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like.
Okey-doke.
I got that little thing too.
Oh, like a nice little knife.
Got to squeeze the little button, and it's weird because
Hey, Mike.
you can't squeeze them both.
Oh, yeah.
You can only squeeze the
Squeeze
one on
one.
the side you want to open.
Oh, and then you gotta pull it when you have to squeeze it.
Yeah.
I wonder why Zoom keeps.
That's kind of
Screwing
nice,
stuff.
actually. How much is this little puppy?
That was 15.
I would get that for my uncle for Christmas. He would really like that.
Another Amazon.
But just, oh, he's a big, nice person, but
And you got to push the little button for the side you want to open.
he's got
Oh, I see.
a lot of them don't have any safety in that. One of his, it's got like an auto opener, so it can trigger in your pocket, and he doesn't like.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought
Yeah,
with this. I'm
He's
carrying
kinda-
this around and it's gonna stab me.
yeah.
But that's another thing that's surprisingly sharp out of the box, but sharpening that's going to be fun. It's also very, very left-handed. So I looked at buying a chisel grind kitchen knife at one point, which was flat on one side, round on the other. And they're surprisingly expensive.
Yes.
But for slicing things, they're very handy. And I wanted one that was left-handed. I was seriously considering having one custom made. And this is ground on the normal blade for left-handed use, which really surprised me. That was my remark on the knife on Amazon. This is a left-handed knife.
And I bet a dozen people went, what's the difference?
Yeah, but a bunch of left-handers went really bunny. But yeah, so it's flat on
Yeah.
the right side and ground on the left. And he's tight, sharp little wood. It is one-handed-ish. It's not easily one-handed, but
Yeah.
You could do
yeah.
it, yeah.
No, I like this because of the button, and you actually have to manually do it versus like the button where it pops open.
Yeah.
Because then like something smacks it in your pocket or you bump up something and it goes. That's why he doesn't, kind of leery about carrying. Because it's almost like a switchblade.
Okay, does the green glow in the dark?
Supposed to, I don't think it's charged up.
Well, yeah, it is.
Is it?
That's nice.
That is the green that one of the kids wanted something for Halloween that glowed, and that was the green that she bought, and I was like, that's pretty cool green.
That is a very nice print. Little tiny bit of fuzzy back here, but otherwise, no layer lines on the hull at all.
They're there. I mean, you can feel them, but you can't really see them.
Yeah, but you can feel them in any direction.
Yeah.
So they're not layer lines.
Well, that didn't get that. I didn't do fuzzy print on that.
Oh,
I did fuzzy print on these two.
okay.
That's the one that I don't think has very many layer lines.
It's
If
good, but the ripple effect on the,
there is some ripple effect. That's got the fuzzy print.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. That is what that video said, 0.3 and 0.3 for whatever the distance and the step or whatever it was. And the black one is the default settings for fuzziness.
so this one
I don't,
has weirdly visible lines, but they're not there.
yeah, I don't particularly care for how that was turned out.
That might just be because it's like glossy black.
Might be.
I bet if this was a flat black, you wouldn't notice it.
The green one's is very fuzzy.
The green one, I mean, if you look really, really close, you'll see the layer lines, but
Yeah.
they're that.
Well, I was saying, has this got any settings for that at all, or is it just like?
No, that was, I printed that a
No,
while
I
ago,
know.
yeah. Back for Halloween, while I was testing that filament to make sure all the settings were right.
Were you going at 1/10 of a millimeter layer height or something?
It's insane, isn't it? That printer is really good.
Are they all in the same printer?
Yeah.
What printer is this?
That's that Anycubic.
Okay.
Cobra 3.
Yeah, because for some reason, my $100 printer doesn't print like this.
The $100 printer doesn't do this. But those fuzzy settings, even though they're in the Persa slicer and all the fancy slicer, the cheap slicers have it too.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
They all do it.
it's been around
Well,
for quite a
everything
while.
Pressa does, they send back to CURDA. So yeah, everything's based on CURDA, so it ends up back there pretty quick.
Yeah.
This is last Linux meeting was a from thought to thing, and designed this in CAD, and that's on my $100 printer.
Okay.
That's an Aldi token.
An Aldi token.
Yeah. You can stick it in the cart at Aldi and you get the cart. And if you gotta leave, you just break the string, whatever.
So you don't waste your quarter.
Right. I have this weird thing of if I go in with my quarter, I want to come out with my quarter, and it really irritates me when they swap carts on me and I end up with somebody else's quarter. It's a fun. So this, I don't care. Somebody else can get my little blue token. This print in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
What printer?
The
Or
Reality
The Ender 3.
Ender 3.
Yeah.
industry. I was thinking you had better one with Bruce a little bit loose.
Yeah, I don't move the press around.
I didn't figure you do when I got thinking about it. That wasn't red metal either. And I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't a Prusa. I was thinking it was.
But that was actually one of my better presentations for quite a while. It actually worked all the way through. You know, the one part that didn't was I was going to hook up, and I had on my Octopi t-shirt, and I couldn't get my router set up to set up the Octopi. So yeah, oh well.
Now, when I showed up a couple weeks ago or whatever, who else was there? Because I heard somebody
Picking on you?
saying, Leroy, was it you?
Might have been.
Might have been. I didn't really see who was in there. I just saw Steve, basically.
Yeah.
Giving you trash for not being in person.
Well,
And leaving early,
I did leave early, but I got 3 laptops, so
did you?
you don't know about that. You weren't there.
Option.
Um, two really nice laptops and 1 okay laptop. 30
Did
bucks.
you get, Leroy, did you ever get a charger for that? Because I have a couple, 3 of them I went through and found the other day, but I was gonna bring them tonight, but I have a cold and did not wish to share it with any of you.
I understand.
And I forgot. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Through texting and whatever, talking with Steve, I realized that the one that I thought I needed a charger for actually would take a charge over USB-C. So got that one solved. The other one I realized it was just generic enough that I've got a tiny charger that worked, but it's not the right charger.
You know how many watts you need?
I
Is it Dell?
No, it was it was that HP.
Okay.
And even for the laptop that I was using that charger for, it's not the right charger. It's got that little teeny tiny
4mm.
4.5 millimeter jack on it.
I thought that was just a Dell thing.
No, HP did it too. But basically, I got it to take a charge, and it charged up, and I mean, I think I'm good with what I've got. It's just not the right charger. And it kind of knows that it's not the right charger, so I think it goes into like slow charge mode or whatever.
Some of the HP stuff, all it saw in the charger was a resistor between positive and the center pin, or the inside of the thing. And so you can open it up and you can put the resistor inside from the motherboard. And then it doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
Everything's an HP charger.
Everything. Well,
And I've got a chart for what resistance is what current. And it turns out that if you plug in one that's appropriate, the HP thinks that it's just one with higher current.
that is the laptop that Ray thought that he wanted, but he didn't like the price that I told him, so I don't know if he really wants it or not. And I thought I was being very reasonable.
I mean, if it was under 200, it probably was.
It was quite under 2. Actually, the average price for that particular laptop is about 120-ish.
Okay.
It's an old laptop. It's a good laptop, but it's an old laptop. And I told him I would trade him for 5 rolls of filament.
No,
Yeah, it should have been like, okay.
that's what, $50?
Yeah.
That's his cost?
No,
Hey, Leroy, tip the camera up so I can see something besides your chin and your shirt. Ah, yes, much better. Thank you.
Well, you know. But yeah, I thought I was being very reasonable and very generous with wanting 5 rolls of filament, but Ray didn't seem to.
so he came in for $4 for the feature.
Yeah, $4 to $6, something like that. And even if you go on retail price, I mean, you're talking like $55.
Well, that's what he was saying last week. He filled up his last shipment with
Yeah, so
$4 rolls of plastic.
I've got it. I've got a charger that works. It's not the right charger. I've got a charger for the Dell that works because it's actually the same charger for this through that USB dock thing, and it charged it up just fine.
So it's USB-C.
USB-C.
Well, then just, okay, I'll get you some USB-C chargers.
Hey.
2 or 3.
I-
Are all 3 of the laptops USB-C?
No, just that Dell, just the Dell has one USB-C.
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying the HP was also USB-C.
No, the HP's, I don't remember what that was.
Okay.
I think it was an iPhone.
Didn't need a
Might have
90 or
been an
65.
It might have been an i5, but it was old. It was an old
Do you
iPhone.
remember what gen? If I, 3000, no, 7th gen isn't too bad. 8th gen is the sweet spot.
Yeah. I know it was, when I looked it up, I was kind of like, oh, well, it's not bad. It's not great.
What I don't understand is why Dell's still using older gen model chips. So,
The
like,
Dell that the company just bought me is a i7 13th gen
yeah,
Dell.
yeah, I was looking at a Dell the other day and it's using like a mobile 8th gen. And I was really shocked by it. I was trying to find a computer with a PCI 4 board in it that was affordable. And it's had PCI 3 stuff. The hell? But because that had an older chip in it, and I'm like, that's awfully odd for something on their store.
Well,
But they're just making for cheap office computers. It's an Optiplex. So I mean, they're not classed gaming computers. I was going to turn it into a gaming computer. But it astounds me how many models still have PCI 3 in them.
so I was looking at this auction though, in somewhere called Cornersville, Indiana, which isn't horrible to get to, but
Yeah,
it's kind of
a little bit of a trek.
it's kind of
Connersville.
yeah, it's Cornersville.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not the same place. But I was looking at through these pictures, and they had a computer, which is what drew me to the auction in the first place. I'm like, that's a piece of junk computer. But then I was looking through other pictures, and there's this box. It's just labeled miscellaneous electronics. And at first, I kind of bypassed it. And went, I went back and I looked. Asus gaming laptop, Ryzen 5. Nice machine, older machine, but a nice machine. And then I was like, oh, look, there's a Dell, something or other. Google says that Dell is a gaming laptop. Okay. And then there was that, and then there was that HP. And I'm like, and then there was a monitor. Not a fantastic monitor, but I'm like, this is not a miscellaneous electronics part. This is a laptop box lot. $30. Got it home. I'm like, awesome. Could not believe I got that. Cause that Asus, that thing will still pull down some decent money if they knew what the heck they had. It should have pulled down way more than $30. Just that one laptop.
Yeah.
And then the Dell and the HP, yeah, maybe it would pull $30 at an auction, $40 at an auction. Who knows? But
how old are they?
that HP was old. I mean, I think it was 2008. I think it was the date on it. But
yeah, I was watching last year. I almost bought a G15 Dell laptop and went and died just before I went on vacation. And then I had to come back and do that presentation, and my laptop's dead. And I did it on my backup with my backup because my backup died too. Well, that was a rough presentation.
Patty looked at me a couple days ago. I'm looking at some other options and she said, I've created another monster. I've got you going to auctions again. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you have. Cause now I'm looking all the time again.
Yeah,
So,
I'd like to, get a laptop capable of gaming, but I don't want to spend the money on one. Cause I had nice money in the old one, and the old one, it blew a cap probably, and I just need to replace the caps, but I don't feel like messing with it.
well, see, that's when I saw this box, I figured it was all just parts.
Yeah.
The Aces had the charger with it. Oh, cool. All I needed to do is plug that in, and even though it had a password on it, somebody who knew something would have been able to get rid of that password.
Yeah. They should have formatted it.
Well, I put limits on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's surprisingly easy to get rid of most passwords.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could have even seen what was on it.
I didn't even care.
Yeah. You never know. It might be some cool stuff. There might have been a Bitcoin wallet on there.
You're right. There might have been probably
Just-
away billions
I'd
of
say, yeah,
dollars.
you just smoked like $40 million. I
Ah.
had 13 Bitcoin in an open wallet.
And wasn't connected to the internet, so nobody knew it was there.
Well, there was a guy I was watching the other day, and I only clicked on it because he talks about he owns one of the little refurb shops or whatever, and gets a whole bunch of used laptops people to bring in and give it to him. And he said, he checks every one of them for Bitcoin or Ethereum wallets before he smokes them, because of especially the old laptops, because it might be the parents or something of some kid that was into it in college and just chucked it in a closet and left it behind.
Right.
And he said because there's no encryption on that stuff, you can just, it's open wallet, so you can boot up and just pair it to your account and add the coins to it. And I was like, that's something worth checking. That $110,000 per coin.
I didn't even really think about it. We
Although-
did it up and went,
Those computers I got from CCC, one of them was the HR lady, had a whole bunch of people's insurance with all their social numbers and everything, with all their, like, yeah, that's not good.
HR should never be given computers.
I know. They don't know how to handle the papers, much more the computer files.
When I worked at Rise and Fell, the HR person, we were switching who was doing our payroll. The person in HR sent an unencrypted Excel file with everybody's pay scale, home address, social security number, how long they had, lots of information. And it stopped in our internal block because somebody needed to release it. And I called and said, yeah, you need to put a password on that. And then the security officer, who also got the same email I did, which included the thing, said, oh, go ahead and release it. I'm like, no. Why? You're the security dude. Dude, security. And just
This makes me feel any better. I worked for an outfit where we do customer service audits. Right, so we had a client at the bank. And then every other year they review their banks. They do like a phone call. They hire us to do phone calls to call out and then review like 10,000 customers nationally. So they'll mail us like 40,000 accounts at a time for those calls. And it will be their name, their home address, their phone number, their social number, their account number, their location, the bank they bank with. And I'm like, in an open email.
Wonderful.
Yep. And I'm like, that's not how you mail that.
Yeah. I didn't even really think about looking to see what might have been on these laptops.
Well, that's,
I'm,
I was just throwing it out there. I always check before I smoke them just for shits and giggles.
When I was a manager for PC upgrades, we had a booting floppy disk that ran DOS that would scan a hard drive looking for images, build a table and start displaying them, starting with the largest, going to the smallest. And we get this computer in.
We can get you in trouble doing that.
Yeah, well, this was a long time
Well, that's
ago.
what I'm saying. Back then, you'd be child porn all over them.
We didn't do anything with it, but
Yeah.
we certainly looked. And it was fast too. I mean, on a 600 meg drive, it would go through the whole thing
Oh, yeah.
in 4 or 5 minutes and start displaying. And we get one in, put in our disk. It churns and then starts displaying. It's like, oh, it's gay porn. Oh, yuck. Unplug it. Then about 2 hours later, one of our techs comes in and says, oh, good, Mom brought in the PC.
Oh,
Okay, one of you gotta explain this. And he knew what we did. He had done it. Why would you let?
Yeah, when we had the shop and the whole idea was to save customers' data
Yeah.
and put it back on the other machine or whatever,
Uh,
then yeah, I would go through and find stuff that I probably should know about or whatever.
Well, that's the thing, because they want everything transferred over to the new box, right? But I was always the general public, I was, yeah. It was
Yeah,
bad enough policing the computers that you see.
Oh yeah, mine was purely curiosity. Considering how many pictures my mother had of me running around with no clothes, if I see a picture of a naked kid on a computer, I'm gonna think it's grandma.
yeah,
And I don't consider that child porn. And
Yeah.
unless it was really overt, I wouldn't have called it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I never did. I mean, I saw a lot of things I didn't want to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. The UC computer lab taught me that I didn't care what was on those folders, I just nuke them.
Well, yeah, that's where the point that I got
Yeah.
to was I really don't care. I just need to move this folder to this machine. Be done. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Well, but then that's the same, right, too. You turn around and they could do a sting on you and see if you moved it over and then bust you for it. Because, oh, well, I didn't even know what I was moving, you know?
But
So I never really have gotten into messing with that kind of stuff. I was just always kind of leery.
the two of the laptops were, I mean, if I believe the login screens, which I have no reason not to, but two of them were owned by the same person. And both of them were gaming laptops, so I have to guess that there were games on there.
Oh.
I don't know. But I don't care. I didn't really buy them I bought them because they were cheap and because I thought they were decent boxes. And they turned out to be, well, two of them turned out to be pretty decent boxes. And the third one, it's okay. I mean, it's, if I could turn around and sell it for $100, I've got nothing invested in the other two machines. So. That's kind of where I'm at with that.
Curious what kind of machines they were.
Well, the two gaming laptops. Both had SSD drives. One of them had 512. One of them has a 1 terabyte. The Dell was supposed to have a 256 bootable drive and a 512. But only the 512 showed up, so I don't know what the deal with that was. Both of them had 16 gigs of RAM. Both of them have replaceable video card thingamabob things. Both of them, one of them has an RGB keyboard. Who cares? One of them just has a light up keyboard.
Be curious what the gen computers in it.
And one of them was, I'm pretty sure it was I think the Dell was an i7 and the other one was a Ryzen 5.
So the i5 without covering the big gambit.
Yeah, well, they both showed up as 8-core machines, which means they were 4 cores with threading.
So pretty decent.
Decent enough considering the age of them. They're good.
Still viable.
Yeah.
Better than my dead one.
The HP had it was another one that was supposed to have a 256 gig SSD and 1 terabyte spinny drive. The 1 terabyte spinny drive showed up, but the SSD did not, and it only has 8 gigs of RAM. But it's also a 17-inch laptop, so it's bigger machine. But as far as specs go, it's minimal. Yeah. I would not call the HP a gaming machine. Not even back in the day. I mean, 8 gigs won't get you very far. 8 gigs do all right.
Especially depending on how old it was.
Wow. It was running Windows. I think that one was running Windows 7. Which is easy enough to get around, but I didn't care. I just fucked it up. And I can only assume that the spec list that I found for them is either wrong or they didn't pay for the optional SSD drives.
We swapped them out. They took them.
Yeah, but I don't know why you'd do that. Especially since it's still booted to Windows 7. I mean, the whole idea was to have the 256 gig drive. Well, the 256 gig drive is supposed to be the boot drive, and then the 1 terabyte is supposed to be the storage. And it's definitely an older spinny drive because it's chilling a while.
Yeah. What did I?
It's not that it's bad, but
I was playing with my old box. So I built a new computer this week.
here comes Ray.
Cannibalizing other computers around my room for parts. And I'd given my nephew my old gaming computer, and I guess he bought one off a friend. I don't know what in the world is that, but whatever. He brought me back a very nice computer, but the operating system was on a spinner. And I was messing with it for a little bit, and I converted it into a Proxmox box. Been a long while since I've been on a spinning drive, though. You can seriously tell the load time of a machine when it's on a spinning partition versus an SSD or an NVMe.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm starting to think I know why he brought it back to me.
that's exact with that machine. It's fine,
Yeah.
and
Well, that's,
For back in the day, it was probably top of the line.
the thing is, though, and that's
Oh.
what's funny, what I gave him was an extremely nice computer. He said he spent $500. The video card was almost $500 that was in that box. So I don't know what in the world he thought he was getting out. You know, really, he could have just put $50 and bought a new hard drive that was an SSD and thrown it in there and have been a way better computer than what he probably got off his buddy, but he didn't consult me or anything. So I was like, whatever, dude. And so now I stole that case to put my new computer in because funny, a 3090 Ti video card is oversized for most cases. And because it's 13 inches long and it needs 6 inches height. And ironically, I only have 2 cases that actually would hold that, and one of them was that. And that was because that was a modern case with USB 3 on the front. So it has a section in it where you can put a 15-inch video card in it. And I was like, well, I guess we're gonna put it in that. I wanted, like, I don't know if you ever remember the Cooler Master had that like square, it's called an HAF.
Yeah.
High air flow or whatever case. That was like one of the last horizontal cases made. And I balked at spending $120 for it on the day at Micro Center. Those are $500 plus now, and nobody's made a
Wait,
horizontal
what kind
case.
of case are you looking for?
A horizontal case
Okay,
that mounts so the 3090 card's 15 pounds of copper.
okay,
All the cases now are vertical.
right.
So
They sell little kickstands.
yeah, they
Put
make
in there.
kickstands or little mounts, or you can buy for $80 the little thing to take it
Mhm.
and set it so that it's, sitting.
I have a case you
horizontally.
may want. It's a horizontal case. It was designed as a media center thing.
Yeah,
Aluminum front. It's pretty old,
yeah.
but it takes a standard ATX power supply and it's big enough certainly for a mini ATX and probably an ATX. I think it's got 5 or 6 slots.
Hmm.
You're welcome to.
Well, as I said, the big thing is
Please
I'll take a look.
Please.
How's that?
take it.
Oh, but yeah, getting the 13 plus inches for the video
Yeah.
card plus the 6.5-inch clearance you need for the power cords to plug into at a 45 on top of the card is a very tricky thing to get in an old case because 12 inches was the limit of what cards went, or 11 inches was how long the cards were back then. And so the case I did have it in, I had to cannibalize a lot of crap out of the way for the card to slot in there. And the lid doesn't fit, right?
We had a customer. I don't know what. I don't remember the video card or anything else, but he basically cut the back end of his case out because his video, so his video card would fit.
No, I understand completely.
Like,
I have considered it, and
you did what?
but yeah, I was looking around because I was watching this guy's video. Said that HAV or that Cooler Master is a great case for these modern video cards because they're huge, right? And it was a big open square top, and the power supply went underneath the motherboard.
Yeah.
And there's a very few models that did that, and it was also like one of the last horizontally mounted motherboard cases. And I'm just kind of surprised that, and that's what the guy was saying in this video. And the video was only like 3 to 4 months old, that he managed to get one off. He bought a used one online somewhere, said it took like 3 months and he finally got one for this guy. And he said he wishes he'd thought about it and ordered himself one too, because they're $500 plus on eBay now. And AliExpress, they're like 120, but they're $275 shipping and 4 to 5 months delivery.
I have another one that you're welcome to when I get things moved all into the rack. I've got a thermal take that's an 18-inch cube. Power supply underneath, room for at least 2 drives, 3. I probably got 3 in there. It's a mini ATX. Mini ATX is only 2 slots, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It
two or
really-
three.
really
It's got
doesn't.
two physical slots and then overhang. So it's got three slots on the back of the case. But it's a cube. It's got this much room over the cards.
Yeah,
I've got a real tall CPU cooler in it right now, and it is 3 inches from the top.
that was the thing I had with the that HAF case, is because I had that 240 millimeter fan on the inside and top.
Mhm.
And when I upgraded to my i7 8th gen, the heat sink went into where that fan was. So I had to take the fan out of the top of the lid.
This one's got a big honking fan in the front. It's kind of a cool case. It was designed so you could stick two of them together.
Yeah.
All the sides are square.
I've seen cases like that.
All the sides are square. You can put the glass on top and vents on the sides, or the bottom, whatever. You can put any side on any side.
On the surface of the cube.
And the front is square, so you can take it off and rotate it. Even the little thermal take logo is magnetic.
Yeah,
You can spin it around.
that's kind of cool.
I remember, back in the day, cases
For
they-
cases.
were vertical, but you could lay them horizontal if you needed to, and
Yeah, well, that's the same. Some they were designed to be tired. You could stand them or lay them on the side.
Yeah.
Nobody makes, and that's what they were talking about too. Is like none of these people that make the vertical ones, if you lay them on the side, they can't stand weight. So you risk crushing them if you do
yeah.
put
Or
something
breaking
on
the
them.
glass.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had, I remember when they kind of started switching to the ones that would not do that. And there was no support. You literally sit something on it and it would just,
it's shattered. Yeah, it's weird. I
Oh,
don't. It
like-
makes sense. I don't understand other than just making cheap junk because But what cracks me up is how much they've turned all these fancy cases that are basically a base and a side panel, and then the rest of it's like plexiglass now,
Mhm.
so you can see into them, but it all can shatter, right?
Yeah, whatever happened to you can't let the RF out.
Yeah,
I never really,
yeah.
I never really got the whole, why do I want to see what my motherboard looks like thing
Yep.
anyway.
One of the coolest
I
things I've ever
mean,
seen, though, I think, was
some of them are kind of cool with the lights and the water cools or whatever with the lights that go around in circles,
Yeah.
but
have you ever seen the wall mount? Where they're designed to like bolt them onto the wall, and then all the cabling behind goes out to the devices, and they all fan it out on the wall.
no, I'm not.
Oh man, there's some of those that are awfully pretty.
Mhm.
I never got why I want a piece of plexiglass in the side, or a piece of glass or anything
Yeah,
in the side of my machine. I never got that.
my current motherboard on a machine that has been running nonstop since 2016-ish, 2017 maybe, has red LEDs that pulse.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, the case has a glass side. One glass side, two filter sides, and a solid side. And at night, it reflects off of the rack above it. And so I'm sitting there using the computer and I see something red over here. I'm like, oh shit, it's on fire. Oh, no, it's not.
oh, the Cylons are no, it's fine.
Hey, Kit pulled up. Yeah.
I kind of remember, I remember computers did have LEDs and all the fancy, and then suddenly they did, and it's like,
Okay, but there was also those 3 glorious years when they had the frequency clock on the front
Yeah.
that you set with jumpers that had nothing to do with the motherboard.
Yep.
All of my machines went super fast.
I remember those. I remember just having a button, turbo.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, two-digit number change from,
Then it was 888-666.
Yeah.
666.
Yeah,
I just remember 3366. Since I didn't have any fancy people's boards.
Intel with the, was it the Pentium 2, I guess, when they finally hit 666 megahertz,
so,
was the 667. Because they didn't want that.
they didn't want the 666. Yeah. Well, I remember when they did that too, and you were sitting there going, yeah, okay. We don't want that number.
Clock it at 222-444 or 667.
Yeah. A lot of weird stuff happened in the early Pentium days.
Got
And the,
any of those? i7 6700T.
No,
Damn,
they're expensive.
surprising.
A lot better price than when I was looking at them. When I was looking at them, they were still at 365.
Damn, for a 6th gen
Yes.
i7?
what's special about these that command such a price?
35 watts, so they're very low power. I picked up a couple of the
Awesome.
little tiny
Unlocked.
NFF Dell machines,
Yeah,
but they're i5s, they're 4-core, 4-thread, and this is 4-core, 8-thread.
oh,
I want
Awesome.
threads.
The first gen to be DDR4.
Yeah,
So a friend of mine gave me a DDR4 Dell that had an i5 locked chip. And I wanted the i7K chip.
Mm.
And the i7K chip was like 350-ish bucks on eBay at the time. And I was like, for that money, I can go buy a brand new CPU and motherboard. So I've gone with the DDR4, and I have since, I mean, I still got it. It's laying out in the garage. Because I hate the pitch perfectly good. It's one of those Dell graphic, or like, it was a Dell desktop workstation G2. If it didn't have the i5 lock chip in it, it'd be a really good computer still. But I'm gonna spend that kind of money for an i7 or an unlocked chip because it was nuts. But I would say it's been a couple of years since I looked. 47 is not bad comparatively, but nowadays for you got some DDR5 laying around, I'd go buy a new chip because damn, they're a lot better.
I've been fairly happy with previous generations. I mean,
Yeah, well, but that's especially like, so the new Intel chip is what, 2 nanometer or something like that. Its watt consumption's like under 100.
yeah,
If you're looking at just straight out watt powered, I mean, it's like half the power of the AMD's per requirement. But thing is DDR5 is getting bad. Yesterday, Micron announcing that they're not going to make RAM chips anymore. It's going to get real bad. That's Crucial. And Crucial is like the #1 chip seller.
Crucial isn't going to make.
They're taking their chip, they're stopped manufacturing RAM chips and SSDs February.
That's not good.
Their Q2, they're bringing it off, that plant offline. And going straight for AI only components.
That's not.
So what used to be 89 bucks 4 weeks ago is currently 400 bucks. And by February, I was gonna probably be $1,000.
It's a good thing I don't need RAM.
It's already 32 gig sticks in China are already over $500.
If you need DDR4 and you can use ECC, let me know. Just happen to have
Well,
A few.
20 pounds of it. Nah, 10.
I wish,
I think Ray has a whole crap ton of RAM somewhere too.
I know he does. That's DDR3.
Oh, yeah, it probably is.
what I would really like and I don't think they do.
DDR3L.
What's that, Ray?
Most of that crap ton of RAM is DDR3L.
That's nice RAM. I
Yeah,
know.
if you can use it.
Well, as I say, if you've got, well, that's, the L stuff was like a low volt stuff. That was the high quality stuff. A lot of Dell stuff used that. That was their high end overclock chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
1.35 volts stuff.
I mean,
that was the gamer RAM of the time.
Yeah,
And they're still very viable computers today that run on that.
well, I mean, most of the machines I run
Yeah, still use that.
are, well, no, they're probably DDR4.
Mine isn't. Mine,
I don't know, they might be,
Well, he's
they might
talking
be
about-
30, they might.
my main machine is
It,
64 gigs of that.
most of my machines are older machines though,
Yeah.
and they run just fine and they do everything I need them to do.
Yeah,
And I don't need anything fancy to do it,
yeah. Well, that's,
but it's kind of weird to hear that Crucial isn't on the make memory anymore.
yeah, I'm floored by that, especially in the middle of a shortage. It's just gonna make the prices way worse. But the-
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
so bizarre.
Like last week or whatever, when I was looking at the RAM prices in China are double what they were here, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and build one now. And then Black Friday sales went off and all the RAM here doubled. You know, and I was like, and they're still over $100 more in China than they are here. I was like, it's gonna get bad, real bad.
I mean, I remember when they had that fire in that RAM plant
mhm.
and that shot the prices all to hell
Yeah,
for a long time. So having a big player not make RAM anymore, that's bad.
well, that's what I don't understand too. It's like, so October 20th, 64 gigs of RAM were $89.
That's
It's
No.
now 999.
89 is still good. Yeah.
So 5 weeks later,
Yeah.
$900 more.
Well, I'm not buying a computer. I know that.
Yeah, now is not the time to be buying a PC.
Unless you can buy one with the RAM in it someplace before the people jack the price up to match.
I'm perfectly fine going to auctions and just taking my chances.
The post, there was a post this morning of the nice thing about living in a third world, and the guy was buying a stick of DDR RAM for $79 in Ecuador. Because the prices hadn't hit Ecuador yet.
I'm fine going to
We
auctions.
ship stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They can
This,
pay the shipping to have it sent home or sent to the US. Like, yeah, I'll get my 128 gigs of RAM from Brazil for $300, please. Thank you. Might be $200 or $300 shipping, no problem. It's still coming out $500 a head.
What's the tariff? That's.
Interesting, the tariffs are actually coming down a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Well, that's what cracked me up about that computer case I wanted is like the fact that they were available in China used for $120. I was like, sweet. And then it was $275 shipping. I was like, crap.
Yeah. Yeah. So where's Ray at? Ray's hiding. He doesn't want to show his face.
Hiding. I'm on my way to Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh,
Driving.
all right.
So anybody familiar with X99? Like Chinese made a bunch of afterboard market for Xeon computers for 3rd and 4th gen. I was wondering if they made something like that for the 5th gen. Man, it was worth asking.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Was a friend gave me a couple chips and I was like, I'd like to use them, but
That's what
Oh,
the
yeah.
server's in at the moment.
yeah,
And when I finally turn it off,
you're not gonna want it.
I don't want the case. I do want the motherboard.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I've got computers, so
And holy crap, the drives that are in there haven't stopped spinning.
You're not gonna be able to see the
You build
texture.
it?
Yeah,
Not real well.
it's part of the reason I'm pushing to get stuff moved off of. I can't get this box joined to the other boxes to do a transfer.
Really?
I'm not sure why. Well, it's a different. So it's all XCP, but this is 7th gen XCP and I'm building 8th gen.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be just, okay, there it is. And even I can shut all the server down and I can't get it to start up on the other machine. It's messing with me.
so the new system can't read the drives out of that one.
I'm transferring them across the network.
Yeah,
So it's on the NAS. They both have access to the NAS. And I've got HA working on the new system with the little i7 8700 keys.
yeah.
The
Your Samba share or something.
oh, it's NFS.
Well, okay.
Why would I do some?
Well, I'm trying to think of why you can't read.
I could
Yeah.
get, I could get
It's easy. It just won't
to
start.
work.
What? NFS is so simple. Install NFS kernel server
Well, that's
And
probably
then-
why I couldn't get it to work.
and then edit your Etsy exports file.
Okay,
Test it with export FF, FS export FS -S or T.
I thought I installed something on the one machine, but I can't mount it. I can't, every time I go to try to mount it, it tells me that I'm not an authorized user or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's because you need to set up the file Etsy exports and say, this machine, this IP address, hostname, whatever, has these rights to this directory.
Okay,
It doesn't share it doesn't share anything by default, but the Etsy exports file, flat text, edit that, restart NFS. You don't technically need to restart NFS, but you should.
but you should.
No. As I said,
Well, I think I read the tutorial or something and I thought I did that, but maybe I did it wrong.
well, the tutorial could be bad because I will tell you,
Okay,
there's something I was messing with. 3 different videos.
Yeah,
Each one left something else out of the other video, and it took all 3 of them to get all the commands to make it work.
yeah.
Right.
here's my
so-
contribution to this. Server-world.info.
Okay,
Go to the site, share it. Server-world.info. You want to select English in the upper right corner. Because it's a Japanese site by default.
world,
Ashworld.info.
Ashworld, info. Oh, it is.
So make the Japanese to English. No, don't.
Don't do that.
Close that. Close that little window. And click language Japanese. Click
language.
language in English.
Yeah, got it.
Now, In the other OS configs up at the top, select what operating system you're running. Up at the top,
Oh,
this is how to do the 100 most common things on pretty
People
much
ask, yeah.
everything.
I think I'm gonna like this site.
Mint is Ubuntu 2204, but
yeah.
now on the left side, there's install or set up a storage server. Click on storage server. Find NFS, configure. Well, here are the 3 steps to doing NFS. Copy and paste. This is 85% of my work at Siemens.
And being done with it. Okay.
If you do these things, it will work. It just, you can't skip steps because this is the important steps. But yeah, server world-info is amazing.
I am putting a link in the
Okay.
chat for everybody. Maybe I'm putting a link in the chat. There it is in the chat.
So we're done. There we go.
It said
Oh, you
everything.
chatted with the AI companion.
Did I?
Oh,
There it is. Wow.
If you want to do, and they cover Windows stuff too.
This is not the tutorial that I went to, but or
It,
that I knew of, or
It is-
whatever.
it is one of the best I've ever dealt with. And I found a mistake in one once. And I sent the dude an email, and the next day it was corrected. And it was corrected across 5 different OSs.
Wow.
So
So
he's responsive. If you go to the very beginning,
so he pays attention to stuff here.
yeah,
I'm going to try to share this so people can see what I'm doing. Bing.
and he's got it right for the difference between this and doing it in Fedora and whatever. And you want to set up virtualization or a container or deal with security stuff, load balancers.
Nice.
Yeah.
This probably would save me all kinds of texting to stay. How do I do this? Why isn't this working?
Oh, anytime I reply to those, it's like copy and paste out of here. But
You better
yeah,
get into
this is a primo site for doing pretty much anything.
Next
Pretty sure they
cloud
do
and
Windows.
cloud storage.
Pretty sure they do Windows stuff.
Well,
Look
so-
at other OS config, see if Windows is in there.
Well,
Oh, yeah. 2012, 2016,
I'll say
2019.
they had enterprise in 19.
Now, I don't know what sort of servers you can install in Windows. It kind of really only does their weird web server, doesn't it?
Well, no, 12, 16, 19, that's their servers.
Yeah, but what can you do with those web servers?
The domain and group policy and account management and.
I do that in
The
Windows.
full OS list.
I'm just saying,
Open LDAP.
The full list.
there's Rocky. And another one that starts with an A that replaced.
Whole bunch
Alma.
of-
Alma's nice. Alma's pretty slick.
I like the 9. I built out an Alma 9 server to replace our CentOS box.
Mhm. Click on server world at the top above yeah, that. Weird happens in the world dealing with Linux. Linus picks a weird GPU while building the most reliable PC ever in Tech Radar, which is actually talking about a build that Linus Sebastian and Linus Torvalds did together. It was a great video. It was an hour long, I think.
This particular website could keep the Linux group going forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little tech news thing,
Yeah.
that's updated every day. This is my homepage at work.
This is probably going to become a
Very
home
nice.
page for me somewhere.
It's,
This might become a
My
web
landing
crawl
page.
clone.
um,
No,
ooh, yeah, I
Really?
mean, you could. There's a
Look,
home wiki.
look,
That
look there.
is-
There's Jetsy.
tens of thousands of
There's
pages.
There's all kinds of stuff up in here. How to
Mhm.
configure a raid and. Oh, yeah.
And almost everything in there is start at step one, here's how you do the install. And then here's how you install this package. And nothing in here is reliant on you doing anything other than the base install. A minimal install, and then do you want graphics? Here you go, do this.
You see me using this in the near future,
I
Like-
use this
probably before I go to bed.
I
a lot.
I see me going home tonight after dinner or whatever and going. Fix.
Yeah.
Fix.
Well, that's the one of
Fix.
the things now that I've cannibalized the 3090 out of the 7910. I'm thinking of turning. Not entirely sure what I'm doing with the 7910 now. I was staring at it this morning trying to figure out, do I make it a Proxmox /NAS /firewall box
Well,
all in one?
I've got those little nooks,
Mhm.
and it was relatively simple to do what I was doing
Mhm.
on a Raspberry Pi. But I've ran into like dozens of problems just moving it from the Raspberry Pi over to the Nook.
Oh, really?
And I don't really know why. I mean, I've followed the same steps. The OS is different.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, right now you'd be doing instructions for Debian 12 or maybe Trixie 13,
Yeah,
but
well, and
yeah,
I
there's a
don't-
lot of stuff that's unique on the Pi.
I don't really remember because I know it was an old. I mean, that thing's been running for 4 years plus.
Software change.
So I know, well, I've never updated it because it just does
If
what I
it's
want it to
working.
do. So I know it's
Probably a completely different version of
whatever it is I'm trying to do.
Python or something.
Oh,
God, I
well,
hate
yeah,
Python.
for sure. It's Python 2 point something. and
Oh, yeah, none of that works at all.
None of that works
Free.
anymore.
That came up as a subject at work today. Python. Python is so stupid.
I like two. I can hardly stand three. And I don't know why. Well, because I'm an anti-syntax person, so.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like programming in C.
See,
But I understand why, and I understand why Python 3's gone back to that, because I've seen where the problems were in Python, and being able to run the command acts different on different machines, depending on what the time of the clock cycle was, because of the lack of syntax. But good God,
I
can we
don't
make a tool that puts the syntax in for you, please?
I don't mind the semicolon and, you know, in C. I don't mind that.
But it's on every line. Why doesn't it just do it?
Well, okay, but I don't mind doing that. What I mind is Python being so panic about tabs. Every freaking tab is a different thing.
And you can't mix tabs and spaces,
And you
even if it
can't-
looks right.
Yeah,
It was quasi Fortran.
that's what really drives me nuts about.
Roadwork reported ahead on US 23 north and half a mile.
Hey,
They're still on the fastest route.
somewhere in a half mile.
My issue with Python is
Oh, look,
Python doesn't do anything. If you want Python to do something, you have to do a Google search to see who's already done it and then copy what they've done using libraries that don't exist anymore. And
Or import libraries that you can trust.
Yeah.
Or make it yourself from scratch.
Everything is a Google search to figure out how to do anything. I want something that has a manual that tells you how to do it.
The thing,
The problem with Python is you can do it 500 other ways. So
Well-
either make your own black box for it or go use somebody else's.
Black box.
Yeah,
I mean, I've really only have used Python for like the vision stuff, the cameras
Yeah.
and whatever. And you're right. Everything that I've ever done, I've found somewhere and I've gone, okay, it works. That's close to what I want to do.
Well, you're
Yeah.
lucky. I can never find a library that'll work.
I'm using, what is that? MVP something IDE, and the libraries are sort of baked in,
Okay.
but they're baked into the hardware.
Yeah.
see, I don't use a whole lot of external libraries, but I don't do a whole lot with it anymore, but it was all from scratch. So, but that's the thing with Python is its versatility. It's so much wider breadth than I think anything else has ever done. Because you can literally go from chip level controls all the way out to like obscure like
Yeah.
AI computer control, keyboard controls
I'm
without
not,
it, vision controls.
yeah.
I mean, people have used it
But-
for everything, so there's libraries out there that can do anything you want it to do, which is
So with like Arduino C or Arduino, C++ or whatever, I
Right.
can look at the code and I can go, okay, I understand this. This is what it's doing.
right.
This is why it's doing it. There's
Yeah, 'cause
there's
it's
the
all
thing
C.
with Python. I sit there and go, I have no idea what the
Because
hell
they're
is doing.
probably using somebody's library that uses commands that aren't in the book
I
because it's
have
in the library.
no
files.
idea what it's doing.
That's what I'm saying.
It's magic and it works, and I'm just happy it works.
You don't know what the black boxes are that you're using.
Yeah, I think Python is horrible, but
Well, like I say, if you strip Python down to stock Python, it's basically C.
Yeah.
Now,
I would get, okay.
so, but then where it gets messy is like you're saying, your library plugins, so you're adding commands that are not part of the base library.
Steve, you can add.
You can too, but usually the libraries you introduce C are standardized, provided by
Well,
ICC
usually,
or whatever.
usually well documented,
Right,
Yes.
and or you can just go and look
But-
at them and figure them out.
right, because they're still written in raw C.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but yeah, in Python, there's a lot bigger ball
Yeah.
involved. And I mean, and that's the thing that's hard for me to wrap around and why I don't mess with Python too much, but Python itself has grown into such a galactic cluster F. Because between 2 and 3, and even some of the versions are not backwards compatible because they deprecated commands. So you gotta isolate the libraries that don't work from the
Right.
libraries that still do, because somebody wrote something that was for this, or somebody wrote something that was for that. And you just don't have that in C because C is just, um,
So like with the Arduino, you do run into some of the commands being deprecated.
deprecated, yeah.
But it's
haven't
usually the
done it.
IDE will say, hey, this command has changed, and you go in and go, okay, change it, done. fixed.
I see that from the perspective too. I haven't coded hard anything C or C++ in 20 years, so I don't know how much it's really advanced other than like Visual Studios or something like that, where Microsoft had totally bastardized what C was.
I ran into, but like I said, the IDE actually goes, are you
And-
sure? Are you sure about this command
Yeah.
or whatever? Which is nice. It doesn't really solve the problem,
Yeah,
but you could at least go, oh yeah, okay, that command changed. Google the
and it tells you a way to fix it.
Google the change and you go, oh, easy. Bum, bum, bum.
Well, and that's what I don't understand, and I have a hard time in my head putting it, especially around, because I do a lot of web stuff. if you deprecate a command, make an interpreter that modernizes the code to replace the deprecated
Or at
command.
least tell you what the change would be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of them are like, well, that command's deprecated. This is what's replaced it, but it doesn't. So how do I make my code work with the new command? Right? I don't understand. Like, if you, as a genre for the language, has altered the language to such a point that you have to deprecate the command, convert that old code to match the new command, and let the old code still run. But they're too damn lazy.
well, the
do
other.
like modern ops replacement of code.
The other nice thing though about C, C plus plus is if you do have old code, you can just tell the interpreter,
It's
hey,
all
I'm
code.
using version whatever.
Right.
Okay, no problem. I'll run it with the old insecure commands or whatever.
Yeah. I understand security is a thing, but I was like, those ops commands or something, they could easily replace some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And still let the old command function, because there's,
Yeah. Well,
or
I know it was a huge cluster when they went from Python 2.7 to Python 3. It was like
yeah.
nothing worked. Everything just stopped.
Well, yeah, because they reintroduced all the syntax from C because of the run problems in 7, or I mean in version 2.
Yeah.
And I watched some of that, like especially if you had any like floating calculation stuff, which Python really wasn't designed to be, but yet that's the tensor stuff they use for AI. So, and it, it hits the clock cycle on an even number, then it did this. If it hit it on an odd number, it did that. It's like, well, that's because it didn't have the syntax to close the command out. I was like, well, that's, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I
But I enjoyed programming in 2. Because it didn't need all the syntax. You could just type your shit and it auto, you didn't need your equal signs, you didn't need
I think-
quotes, and
I think I started using
I'm just lazy. I hate hitting shift for every other damn key to.
I think I started using Python with 2.4 and then it went to 2.7 and that wasn't a huge difference or
Yeah,
some different.
a little
But-
bit, but nothing.
But
like
when it
was.
went from
Straight out,
2.7 to 3, it was like
yeah.
nothing works and I don't understand any of it.
Well, I got into Python late in the game. But I was not late in the game, but it was like I learned a lot in like 2.3.
Yeah.
Loved it, enjoyed, was having a blast with it. I'm not making any super powerful stuff out of it. But then I took like Corsair's 3.1 or something came out, online thing for that, and I was like, oh my God, they brought all the syntax back. And the guy did the class where you could do it, the code both in either 2 or 3. You could pick, so I did all the code in 2 because I knew 2. And so I mean I got through the course just fine, but then I was like, I played with the syntax stuff on the other side because I had both installed on my box thinker, and I was trying to do homework in both versions to see the difference, and I just hated the syntax, and that was like the last time I really messed with Python a ton.
I'm seriously considering getting that keyboard so I can hit shift with my foot.
Yeah,
It could do. I put a lot of thought into this, and I'd hate to have to buy 3 keyboards, but then I could take one to work and I could have shift and alt
on the floor.
on the floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, shift is hitting the
Yeah,
the posterior.
yeah. So I put the keyboard you gave me on my new box last night, and I finally got a game running on it. And and then Star Citizen was free to play up until yesterday, but I have an account, or because I bought it way back when anyway. But they were letting you fly all the ships for free, and I was trying to get onto that, but I couldn't figure out how to go get the ships. Game's crazy complex, but so the function keys now all have key buttons on them, right? So I hit F1 and it muted the game. I'm like, that's not F1. And I looked down at the keyboard and was like, well, yeah, F1 is the function key for that, but I was like, I guess I smacked the escape key with the function key or function
Yeah.
lock or something at some point, so it toggled all the function keys
What
to
keyboard did I give you? I only remember it.
that Dell
Okay,
thing from the, or it's like cordless
okay, yeah,
chiclet keyboard.
okay.
So it looks like a laptop with all the functionality buttons for all that. Well, I had no idea how to toggle that back off. And I'm like trying to play, it's like, and then I'm like muting the sound and turning the sound back on. It's like, that's not, that's not the right stuff. And I'm like, how do I fire off this command? So I'm like doing the face, or like there's a toggle mode in the game where you can release the mouse and then like go click stuff on the screen. And I was doing that for like a half hour before I finally sat there and stared at the keyboard and was like, it's like somehow I gotta be able to turn off this function key. And like you hit the function key and the escape key, it had a little lock pad in it. And then the function keys were doing what the function keys were supposed to be doing. I was like, oh, that's better. And but then I'm using my new mouse too, which, so it's got like 10 buttons on the left side. I didn't realize that the middle button behind the scrolly wheel toggles those 10 buttons, and there's like 50 buttons there. So, because there's 4 little bars that turn colors, so like depending on which bar, and then there's no colors. So that took a little while to figure out like why those keys weren't doing what they were doing a few minutes before.
I hit a button.
Because I hit a button
I hit a button.
somewhere else on the mouse that was cycling through the other, like, and changing all 10 of those buttons to completely different things. So at one point in number, they were 1 through 10, one through 0 or whatever. And then in a little while later, they were like my mount buttons, which was like the numpad from the keyboard. And then a while later, they were the like 1 through 10 from the top of the keyboard for the weapons attacks. And I was like, the hell's going on here?
I installed on the Asus laptop, on the gaming laptop,
Yeah,
I installed Steam
yeah,
on top of Linux Mint.
yeah,
I have one Steam game. I bought one Steam game 20 years ago,
yeah.
and it's still
Still there,
available.
yeah.
Ah,
And
I played fine. Especially from then.
it worked no problem
A lot of games
until
on-
I got about like 3/4 of the way through it. And all of a sudden, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I hit a button or what I did, but all of a sudden it went back to the desktop and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
you just crashed or
crap.
something,
I guess it
Or-
crashed.
closed it out. Steam, I haven't had trouble with Steam for quite a while.
Yeah, from everything I have read and
It's going to
heard,
become a really nice Linux
Steam
platform.
has made Linux very gameable.
Yes, there's a lot of dual playable games now on Steam that will run on Windows and Linux
Yeah.
through Steam. So they've really done a justice to gamers.
Well,
Well,
this game, it was an old Star Trek game, from. It probably was 2009, so it probably hasn't been 20 years, but
yeah,
it was a
Still-
long time.
the
ago.
online one,
No, it's not online.
that's about when that came out. It
Yeah.
officially launched like January of 2010.
No, this was a game I actually bought, and I've got the CD for it and everything.
Yeah.
Steam didn't care if I had the CD or not, though. But Windows did. When I had it installed on Windows, they wanted me to stick the CD in, even though it downloaded the
Game. Yeah.
game.
You verify that you have a legit copy.
But anyway, it
Blizzard does that on Diablo.
it worked fine, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And visually, it looked a whole lot better than I remember it looking. But that may be because the graphics card in that laptop is
Well,
a whole lot better.
they revamped the graphics some, because they've been doing a lot of that too. A lot of games have gotten upscaled
Yeah.
on Steam for, like, they've even redone Command and Conquer. And that was done by the studio,
Oh.
but Some of the other games like that have gotten a facelift.
I mean, I'm really not a huge PC game person. I've got,
Yeah,
you know,
oh,
the
understand.
Wii and the Wii U and the Switch and a half a dozen other consoles.
I've got sword.
Hi, this video is not about woodworking. It's about how 5 weeks ago I broke my right wrist and now I have.
What? Who broke their likeness?
I was looking at something else and the audio was on. My
Oh.
apologies. Matthias Wandel, about 11 years ago, stepped in between two cars that were sliding on ice and broke his wrist. And so he was unable to use the keyboard as normal. And my recollection is that he came up with an external switch to execute shift. And I was thinking it might have relevance to what you were talking about, Steve, and I was brought that up. I apologize for the audio
No
coming
issue.
Did you see Microsoft added a new Braille system to Windows 11 with 25 H2?
No.
Yeah, but it's about time they put that back.
Yeah, I was just reading about that.
Unfortunately, now any of the text-based browsers no longer work with anything. You go to Google and it says, "Oh, now upgrade."
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
That's probably why, because they're getting grief from the community. But I was reading through, so like the U.2 drive, trying to make it work in Windows 11. I didn't really want to put 11 on my box, but I tossed it on there as a thing just to try to see if I could get everything working, and I couldn't see the U.2 drive.
That's what pretty much everybody that uses Braille on the internet sees.
What do you upgrade to?
Yeah,
Where are they seeing?
update your browser. Your browser isn't supported anymore. I do some assistance for a fellow in Chicago that's blind and has been since birth. And he's got a Linux box because it's the only thing that had support for Braille.
There is a fan-run project that is a gopher. Still.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. And he's got Google set up so you could go to his. I'll see if I can find that
Okay.
link again.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
But you go to his gopher and then you go down to where it says Google and then you go to that and you can do basic searches and whatever. And he's got some sort of deal where it strips a lot of the not the ad, not necessarily strips the ads, but it strips a lot of the images from the from websites, just period. So, but it's it's the old service.
Yeah.
It's not fun or pretty to use. It's
guy head of the IT of the Blind Association here in Cincinnati, and I can ask him what they're using.
Actually, I can probably ask him.
Michael Wiegel or whatever.
I owe them money, $12. I have called like 5 times, never gotten hold of anybody that can take a credit card. I've left at least 6 messages in the last 2 years. I owe you money. It's on this invoice. This is my phone number. Give me a call. Never gotten a call back. Ever. I mean, I understand it's only $12, but I've never met a receiving department that didn't want to receive money.
Probably moved it off. Don't care.
They probably said, Merry Christmas.
They sent us an invoice that didn't have a send money to here. It just, so Marla is technically blind and she's got a cane and she wore out the ball. And she said, can I get another ball? And they sent a ball that says this was $12.82.
Where
Okay.
do we pay $12.82?
Gladly pay it.
I'd say I would have thought it came out of health thing somewhere probably, but yeah.
Yeah, and you sure that it wasn't some sort of government grant or
Well,
something
it
for
was at
$12?
this point because
Yeah, that's probably it. They probably just invoiced
But
Medicare or
They wanted
something.
to say probably this is what they built out and they gave you a copy of what they charged off to somebody.
no, it says this is what you owe.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get you out of paying $13.
Oh, I'm out of it at this point.
$12.
Yeah.
It's mine now, but I mean, again, every couple of months I call and say, hey,
Trying
got
to.
this invoice.
You're going, one day you're going to wake up and there's going to be a stack of mail that says,
And,
where is our money?
so did it come?
Police on the door.
I said, did it come with it or did it come in an envelope separate of it?
It was in with it.
Okay, I was like, I could see a scam trying to get you to get your credit card information,
Yeah, but if they didn't
pretending to
give,
be them.
but if they didn't give a way to contact them.
Well, they
or
got
whatever.
busted, right? If the numbers went to a call center that got busted right after they mailed it, or they had to change the numbers, you're just going to a blank call center.
I think we did get scammed actually.
Leg brace?
No. She got text messages about every 2 weeks for 2 months. I'm like, that's a scam. But it was so consistent. Always the same wording, always proper English. Then it referenced me. And it was about something about money. And finally, after getting probably 20 text messages, we called them back. And they rattled off a bunch of things that actually happened in the past that technically somebody probably owes for. And we never admitted to owing anything. And they said that they would send something in the mail. Haven't heard from them since.
Yeah. Well, that's the tricky thing about mail. The amount of mail that's making it through is astronomically sad. So Mom's bank replaced their entire computer systems. So all her
Okay.
auto pay stuff was gonna change, like that was going away while we were down in Myrtle Beach for a couple of weeks. So she prepaid and mailed all her bills for the month
Oh,
of
okay.
November, right? And like 3 of them never made it.
Nice.
And it's like, that's pretty astronomical amount of like 9 bills, 3 didn't get processed,
30% down is bad.
So I don't know if it's just the companies don't do
Or they're not,
payment processing anymore and just expect you to direct deposit
yeah.
pay or what, but I find it hard to believe the mail lost that many letters but I don't put it past them losing that many letters either.
I pay
But 2 weeks ahead of time, they should have made it.
everything online,
Mhm.
which I probably shouldn't, but I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Long ago,
Well,
set up.
I pay everything through the app, and I'm usually connected to
Well, no,
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't do apps. Other than PayPal, I use PayPal quite a bit because I'm pretty confident if something gets screwed up, I can go to PayPal and say that's screwed up.
Well, Duke Energy,
Mhm.
State Farm, and there's a third one. There's three of them, but they're big companies, and I just find it more convenient
Yeah,
to pay through this. And I'm not on the website. I'm not on their website, and I'm not on a network that potentially somebody could tap into. Yeah,
You're using a phone, right?
quite a while ago, we said.
Have you watched what
I
happens on Android?
I know. Just leave me
And
alone.
Apple,
Yeah,
Just let me be ignorant in my own little
Apple's
head.
not quite as bad as Android. It's not good. Phones in general are not good,
yeah,
but
yeah,
Android is substantially more susceptible to a lot of stuff.
I
Well,
do have my credit card in my Google Wallet. I know I've used it. It's
I
been a long time because it's not as convenient as just tap with a credit card.
Right.
that's the one thing that I don't do. My credit card is not in the phone,
Mhm.
and my credit card's not on file with these companies. I just go and I pay them, and if they give me an option to pay through PayPal, that's usually how I pay it.
I'm 98% certain that the credit card info doesn't come out of that unless I use my thumbprint. I'm not absolutely certain of that, but I'm
Yeah,
mostly certain of it. I can't even use my passcode to get around that. And
when
with
I
passcode, this is a thing I'm curious why Apple doesn't do. Why can't you mix up the keyboard on an Apple? So if somebody watches me type in my code on this,
For like having more than just numbers.
oops, got my finger. No, it's not just fingers.
the number
Notice the numbers are mixed up.
Oh, they're in a weird place.
So I can-
randomized.
They can't watch the pattern and
right.
replay the pattern.
Yeah, I think that pattern unlock stuff is stupid.
Yeah.
That's how did you set that up?
It's an option in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mine
It-
doesn't do
It's
that.
it, yes, it does. It's a Motorola. Yeah, it does. That's part of
The security.
Android. Settings.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. You have to actually know your password.
Yeah, well, it's only 8 characters. And that's another, I don't think you can set a long password in Apple.
4 or 6.
Oh, it can go to 6? Okay.
6 it was introduced. I haven't upgraded yet where it forces 6. But
Oh,
the last 2 or 3 versions.
mine will now scream.
There.
The last 2 or 3 versions of iOS require 6.
Okay. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually.
Uh,
And here's my failing in security. Both of my phones have the same
See,
same 8.
my iPad, I don't effing want it on my iPad.
See, my Chromebook requires 6 digits, but I don't think my phone did. I think my phone, I think I got away with 4 digits on my phone.
Yeah, but you can change it. You can change it up to,
It's free.
you can change it up to, I think the longest pass number you can put in there is 14 digits.
Okay. I don't,
Imagine.
I would never remember.
I need to call 911.
No, I can call it the lock screen.
What was that, IT crowd? Or was it the numbers like 419947654?
2271.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
That clip, it cracked me up.
I love it.
That computer sitting there on fire. the whole
Oh,
time.
I love the fact that he was able to send an email to whom it concerns.
Fire, fire,
Fire.
fire. That show is such a freaking trip.
That show that
It's wrong on so many levels, but it's
That was
Well,
such.
this isn't exactly the same thing, but I got a credit card bill the other day in the mail, and I decided I was going to go into Chase and set up that account and pay it. And I look at the credit card bill, and it doesn't contain the entire account number, just the last four digits. It's like, why would you do that?
Because people can't steal your info.
Yeah,
But that's
So
what
if they're stealing the credit card bill out of the mail, that's a federal offense that they're going to go to jail for big time.
Oh, they don't care. Nobody enforces that at all.
What, mail theft?
Yeah. The Secret Service is, but I mean, that's so commonplace now, it's absurd. Ask, it was the guy who was running this, he was complaining about it for years. Cause he had
Oh,
a
yeah.
sensor on his mailbox going off at 1 and 2 a.m. A guy's breaking in his mailbox every night.
He would just have people drive in his driveway and take the packages off the porch.
Yeah,
And he lived on a road that was,
in the middle of nowhere.
well, it wasn't, no, it was actually a very busy road. People,
Was it?
yeah. Yeah, I know where he lives.
Well, I always thought it was odd because I was like, I told him to report it to the Secret Service and he never would do it. But what was funny is like, because here a couple years ago, we actually had a briefing from the Secret Service talking about that being like almost like $1.2 billion worth of fraud on southern Dayton area. Because it gotten so bad that it was becoming they were assigning national agents to try to track down the mailbox that.
I don't know whatever happened about Jim's, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he.
Just let me follow up for a second. The credit card came in the mail.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about somebody stealing stuff out of the mail, you can pick up the envelope and you can know it's got a credit card in it because of the texture of the thing. If you're worried about theft out of the mail, that's where it's going to be because it's a credit card. It has all the information there. You can steal it and go use it. I'm trying to pay a bill. I can't set it up because they don't give me the entire account.
So that was what was funny with my mom. So that bank switched computer system, complete new system. So it wiped out all her electronic payments. Right. So like the 15 companies she had in the system, and like you're saying, all the bills now only have the 4 digits. So she doesn't have the numbers for any of them to put them back into the computer system, and the bank had no way to print out the accounts on off the old system anymore. So what she needed to have preemptively gone in and printed out each account in order to put them back into the computer system. So she can't do that because she didn't pay them. So like the ones that are on auto pay, the auto pays just stopped, right? Because it generated all new credit card numbers and everything with the new computer system. It's been a cluster. She's been pulling her out for weeks, trying to figure out how to pay these things. Because like the Rumpke bill and the Duke Energy, you don't have the account numbers for any of it.
I've got a text file that's on most of my computers that is
Got all of them.
who I owe money to, where their website is, what my login is, how much a month.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it. I auto pay 16 bills every month. And
I'm very, very stingy because I've got 3 bills.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Well,
thing.
4 bills if you count rent.
I only have 1 or 2, and that's why
car
like
insurance, rent, well, mortgage in my case. She has a private doctor health insurance thing that's surprisingly cheap, and I recommend it to anybody. We've got the house insurance, we've got Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
I hate Hulu.
It's just
She
a-
watches,
robbery.
she watches the Hallmark movies and
That's,
ah,
I got rid of all our streaming services a
Really?
long time ago because we don't watch them. We didn't
Yeah.
watch them.
I just rewatched Breaking Bad and now I'm doing Better Call Saul.
Let's say, doesn't
I like
Hulu have
being able to
Hallmark
sit down
channel?
and think sometimes.
Well,
And she's getting to like violent stuff, so it's okay.
I've got
Stargate's coming back.
Yeah,
I heard, yeah. We've got the insurance, we've got rent. We've got Duke Energy. We've got the fourth one that I can't remember.
AT&T.
internet.
AT&T Internet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And
She's paying this. This is one that really irks me. 99 cents a month to Apple for extra storage.
99 cents a month.
I have done
That's-
everything I can to get her to move her stuff onto the next cloud box. It's okay. No, it's not.
I can't convince my mom that all the emails she gets saying that she's out of space is just on their stupid little cloud because she's got 128 gigs free on her phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patty gets the
Right.
same thing. Yeah. I've got a $31 credit with AT&T right now,
Yeah, nice.
because I usually pay a little bit more every month. And eventually
I used to do that. When I lived on my own, I overpaid all my bills. When I moved out of Tucson, I went to the power company and the apartment complex. I left Tucson with like $4,000.
Yeah.
Because I overpaid everything. I made sure that at the end of the month, I had no cash left.
I don't overpay rent because rent is rent and it's already expensive. But
Mm.
internet and I do overpay every now and then. I will overpay for car insurance just because it's instead of $57 rounded up to 60. It's
Yeah.
fine. But and then eventually you get a little bit of a credit and you say, oh, just use my credit.
Yep.
Anyway, it's
Mine
seven,
paid moving expenses.
it's 7 o'clock. We're late. I gotta shut down. We are in person next week, but I'm not here. Steve's in charge.
Hello, I'll be here.
So hopefully I see everybody next week or not, because I won't be here. See you guys later.
Talk to you later.
The hand came out of nowhere.
Bye.